What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my betting breakdown video for UFC Vegas 47, Sean Strickland going against Jack Manson.
I need all the wins, yeah. Harder than all that is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
And definitely ready to talk some bets here on UFC Vegas 47. Not the best card in the world from a betting perspective. A lot of these fights, you can make a case for a ton of dogs on this card. I'm definitely staying away from the parlays this week, but I do have some spots that I really do like, and we'll talk about all of those. Before we get started, if you guys can please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. A betting breakdown video comes out every Saturday morning. I'll be going live with me, Narco Cop, Eric Betts Fights, and Uncle Weezy 1 hour prior to when the prelim starts, so make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss out on that. I do want to say thank you for everybody that has signed up on dfsbythenumbers.com, the new website. If you have not yet, go to dfsbythenumbers.com, sign up. The most popular option being that $10 betting option to get access to the stats you see on the page and much, much more. First notice on all bets, the betting article, the betting breakdown videos, Hail Mary parlay, access to Discord, and then the full card breakdown and best bet article, which does drop on Wednesday. That is something new for this year. Almost 100 members. I think we're like 5 or less away from 100 members on the website already. So really do appreciate everybody that has signed up and the people that will sign up in the future. So as always, going to be breaking down these fights from a betting perspective and a betting perspective only. If you do want a further, more in-depth breakdown on why I do like which fighter, on why I am betting what, I did do a full card breakdown and prediction video that was on Monday, and then I went live on Friday night as well after the weigh-in. So with all that out of the way, I say we get into it, and we're going to start with the very first fight of the night, Denise Bonder going against Malcolm Gordon. And it was weird, the bookies waited a long time to get these lines out for this fight, and, I had this circled, all week. I want to play the fight doesn't go to decision. I'm hoping they don't make it some ridiculous price like minus 300. I'm hoping for something minus 200 and better. And then I saw 5 dimes open it up. I don't have access to 5 dimes, but they put minus 160, and I was hoping I could get that line. And then BetOnline eventually opens it up. I get minus 180. So I do put 2 units on that. And then all of a sudden I see that out of nowhere, FanDuel Sportsbook money's pouring in on the fight goes to decision on these overs in this fight, and I really don't get it. We'll talk about why, but I see the fight doesn't go to decision on FanDuel's minus 164, so I actually add another unit onto this bet, so I have 3 units total on the fight doesn't go to decision here. The reason why I like this spot so much, so first of all, it's a flyweight fight, so we're going to get a huge discount on this fight doesn't go to decision line. I already expected that a little bit, but these guys are finishers, both of them. We can take a look at their finish rates. Denise Bonder has a 100% finish rate. He's never won a decision in 19 fights. He also has been finished in 1 of his 2 losses. Malcolm Gordon, he's a good finisher, a black belt in BJJ, a 77% finish rate, has some knockouts on his record. And on top of that, Malcolm Gordon is extremely fragile. This guy has pound for pound the worst chin I've ever seen in my life. 4 knockout losses. He's getting hurt in every single fight that he's in. Even in fights where he's winning, this guy's wobbling. He's getting dropped. Malcolm Gordon, 100% finish rate in all of his losses. So, both guys are good finishers. Both guys can be finished, especially Malcolm Gordon. This line really doesn't make much sense to me. So I have 3 units total on the fight doesn't go. I see a lot of people on the Bondar inside the distance, and I agree with that as well. Bondar's minus 300 on some books right now. You can get the inside the distance around plus money, plus or minus 115, minus 110 around there. I think that's fine as well. But yeah, give me Bondar to come out here, finish Gordon within the first couple rounds, but I did take the fight doesn't go to kind of cover both sides there. Next, we have Jonathan Almeida going against Danilo Marquez. I have the under 2.5 rounds, 2.5 units, minus 175. I really could not believe this line Bovada put out earlier in the week, and I thought I was getting an absolute steal, but it looks like all week money's been pouring in on the overs. Money's been pouring in on the fight goes to decisions, kind of like the last fight, and it really doesn't make much sense to me. This is why. Almeida has a 100% finish rate. He's never won a decision, and he's minus 500 on some books. So why is this Almeida line getting wider and wider, not minus 500 on some books? And why is money pouring in on the over 1.5 and the over 2.5 and the fight goes to decision? I think at this point, there's value on the under 1.5. Almeida, 100% finish rate. Almeida's never won a fight over the 1.5 round mark. I think Almeida comes in here and stops Marquez within the first round, round and a half. Marquez, he has a couple wins under his belt in terms of the UFC. Mike Rodriguez, Khadis Ibrahimov, but those guys are both cut. Those guys both are pretty bad. I think Almeida, from what I've seen, looks like the real deal. There's not a lot of footage out there. I would caution people on laying the minus 500, but he's minus 500. Why not play his best path to victory, which is that under 1.5 at like plus money on some books? So I like the under 1.5, but I do have 2.5 units on the under 2.5 rounds, getting the extra round there, minus 175. I see 5 Dimes has it minus 190 right now, and money's still pouring in on those over. So maybe wait till fight time. Maybe you get a better price on that. But yeah, give me the under, looking for violence on 2 fights in a row. And we have the next fight. We have Alexis Davis, Julia Stoliarenko. Not going to talk much about this fight, but I like Alexis Davis to win. I think her experience is going to be key. I think that her level of competition is going to be key. Sorry, there's like a bulldozer outside of my house for some reason. But anyway, Alexis Davis, I think she probably wins by decision, but it's only minus 110. I think like the under 2.5 could be interesting. Alexis Davis says she wants to come out here and get a finish, but it's not something she typically does. Stoliarenko has been finished in 3 of her 5 losses, though. This is a big pass for me. I liked Alexis Davis a little bit at like minus 196 earlier in the week. She's like now minus 250, minus 240. So no reason to really play this. I'm going to sit back and watch this one. Give me Alexis Davis for the win. Philip Bro, Jason Witt, more violence here. 1 unit on Philip Bro. Inside the distance, plus 120. I've been waiting all week for this line. Money's been pouring in on Witt all week. So I was waiting for that inside the distance line for Rowe to get a little bit better, and it had. Rowe, 100% finish rate. He's won all of his wins inside the distance, kind of like a Bondar, kind of like an Almeida. And then Jason Witt's been finished in all 7 of his losses, 100% of his losses inside the distance. And kind of like Malcolm Gordon, Jason Witt has probably the 2nd worst chin on the card. It's very bad, and I think it's only going to take 1 big shot from Philip Rowe, and he has 15 minutes to do it. So the reason I did not opt for the Philip Rowe money line was because I really don't see him winning minutes here. Because I think Witt's going to have opportunities to get the fight down to the mat, control Rowe at times. I just think it's going to take 1 shot, 1 big shot to put Witt down. The chin's questionable. The card is questionable. I think Philip Rowe wins this inside the distance. 1 unit, plus 120 there. So yeah, in the first couple fights of the night, a ton of action there. Most of my action is going to be on these early prelims. Moving on, we have Marc-Andre Barrios going against Chidi Njokuani. So I'm picking Chidi Njokuani here to win, and I'm picking him to win by decision. But there's this prop that really stuck out on DraftKings Sportsbook. It is the Marc-Andre Barrios scorecards equals no action, which is the same thing as the finish only. And I got that at plus 100, 1 unit on that. The reason being is this line kind of surprised me because I think if there is a finish in this fight, it's probably going to be on the Marc-Andre Barrios side. Barrios is very, very tough, very, very durable, never been knocked out in his entire career. I don't even think he's been knocked down in his entire career. Chidi Njokuani is the one that's out here getting finished. Chidi Njokuani is the one where I do question his durability. I do question his cardio, where I do not question that with Marc-Andre Barrios. So again, I'm picking Chidi to win by decision, but that really stuck out to me. The finish only Marc-Andre Barrios. We could take a look at his finish rate here. I think it's around 69% finish rate for Marc-Andre Barrios. Chidi Njokuani was 65% finish rate, but you see that in the finish stats for the losses, Barrios, 0 knockout losses, 0 submission losses, and Njokuani, 3 knockout losses, 3 submission losses. So I think, just due to the toughness of Barrios, I think if there is a finish, it's going to come from the Barrios side. So as far as that, finish only, there's nothing really else I like in this fight. Probably just going to sit back and watch it, but yeah, that finish only really, really did stick out for the Marc-Andre Barrios. I think Njokuani probably wins by decision. And by the way, the finish only means that if there is a decision in this fight, the bet voids. If Barrios wins inside the distance, the bet hits. If Chidi Njokuani wins inside the distance, the bet loses. For those of you that don't know, I've been trying to do a lot more of those this year. I think we'd take advantage of a lot of those. Hakeem Dawodu going against Mike Trizano. Yeah, it's a pass for me. I think it's going to be a very close fight. Even like the decision prop for Hakeem is minus 110. Don't really want anything to do with that. I see a lot of people playing those like split decision props. I think Trizano is like plus 1,100 on DraftKings, and Dawodu is like plus 500, plus 600. I think those are probably worth some stabs. It's going to be a close fight. Really, anybody can win. I'm going to pick Hakeem, but not with a ton of confidence. Don't want to bet this one. Miles Johns, John Castaneda. I passed on Castaneda here at plus 200. He's now plus 155, so a lot of money's been coming in on Castaneda. I think, if you got in early, good for you. You beat a lot of line movement there. I'm going to pass here. I'm going to pick Castaneda ever so slightly, but it would not shock me in the slightest if Johns was able to, kind of use his wrestling, use that power. He's going to have the power advantage here. The thing, and why I am picking Castaneda, but not with a ton of confidence, is because Johns in his UFC career thus far has only completed 1 takedown in 4 fights. He's this beast wrestler. He's a really good wrestler. Only 1 takedown in 4 fights. If he does not choose to wrestle here, it's going to be a very, very close fight. If he does choose to wrestle, I think that's a legit path to victory. It's just he has not done that thus far. 0 takedowns in his last 3 fights as well. So I'm going to pick Castaneda, but I missed the plus 200. I'm going to sit back and watch this one. I think Johns does have a good chance of winning, but minus 180 is still probably too wide. All right, next we have Julian Rosa going against Steven Peterson. Peterson did miss weight by a couple pounds. Looked like he did not even try to make weight, and that's going to be him missing weight twice in a row. So, not good. But, Julian Rosa should win this fight. I think he's better everywhere. The only problem with the Rosa is, like a Witt, like a Gordon, this guy's chin is a serious concern. His striking defense is a serious concern. But Peterson is not much of a knockout threat. I think Rosa probably cruises to a decision here. Peterson's very tough. Only been knocked out once, 8 decision losses. But minus 305, I would never lay anything near that for a guy like Julian Rosa. And I think this is the first time he's been a favorite in like a long time, a couple of years. And again, like the striking defense, the chin is enough for me to stay far, far away from this price tag of a Rosa. But I will pick a Rosa to win by decision. Tresean Gore, Bryan Battle. I have a half unit on Bryan Battle at plus 136. Missed out on the plus 140, plus 145. But I thought going into it, I thought I'd be betting Gore here. I remember him from The Ultimate Fighter. I thought that, he'd be the favorite to win the whole thing, and he got hurt. And then I go back and watch the tape on Gore, and first of all, there's not a lot of tape out on this guy. Only 3 professional fights and a couple amateur fights as well. Battle has double the experience here, and I really liked a lot of what I saw from Bryan Battle in terms of the cardio, in terms of the output, the well-roundedness. His ground game looks good. Submission game looks good. He looks in great shape for this fight as well. And you have Tresean Gore, who has a lot of power, but I've heard people compare him to Francis Ngannou and Derek Lewis. And you look at his record and his 3 wins, he has no knockout wins. His only finish win was a doctor stoppage, and then you look at his amateur career, which is a good 5-6 fights. He has no knockout wins. One was a doctor stoppage. So, he has a lot of power, he does, but the knockouts have not really been translating besides the Gilbert Urbina fight, and he's the only person that he has put out officially in his pro amateur career and on The Ultimate Fighter. And Urbina, we know how hittable he is. We know how chinny he is. I think Battle can make this very close. I think the output is going to be key. I think the cardio is going to be key. The well-roundedness is going to be key. I think this line should be, a pick'em or even flipped in favor of Battle here. I know a lot of hype is on Gore, and I get it, but after looking into the fight, this guy has 3 fights, and he has not fought the best competition. Bryan Battle has fought the much better competition, amateur and pro, and I think Battle does get a win here. On top of that, Gore's coming off of an injury. He's coming off of a layoff where we've seen Battle, be more active. Battle has fought in the UFC already. Just a lot of things lining up for Battle. But at the end of the day, these guys have 10 pro fights combined. I don't want to be too invested in it. So I only have a half unit on Battle, plus 136. I don't want to go heavy on this one. I was going to pass, but I was, this line stuck out to me so much. But half unit, Bryan Battle, plus 136. Brendan Allen, Sam Alvey. Allen looked like crap on the scales. Looked like he just got up off the couch, to be honest. So I don't know how much he's prepared for this fight, if any at all. But it's probably still enough to beat Sam Alvey. The minus 415 is nuts. It's crazy, and people are parlaying him up, and I don't recommend doing that. But he probably does win. Allen, a 42% striking defense, 42%, and he got knocked out a month ago against Chris Curtis. So he's coming in here off a knockout loss, recent knockout loss, coming off the couch. Looks out of shape, but I still think he beats Sam Alvey just based off of volume, pressure, coming forward, and probably winning decision. But minus 415 is nuts. If anything, I'd probably take a look at the Sam Alvey KO, plus 650. I think that's his path to victory. I don't see Alvey winning a decision against anybody, but I'm not putting money on Sam Alvey. But I will pick Brendan Allen. Shavkat Rakhmonov, Carlson Harris. Like the Almeida fight, like the Bondar fight, money's been pouring in on this fight. Goes to decision and fight in the over 2.5s, the over 1.5s, and I kind of get the over 1.5, but I don't get like the fight goes to decision bets here. I mean, these guys are very dangerous. I don't know why people hate violence this week, but yeah, if anything, I'm going to keep waiting to see where this fight doesn't go to decision line goes and maybe take a shot at that if it gets better than minus 200. But right now, it's a pass for me. I do think the Carlston Harris money line is intriguing. This line does not make a ton of sense. I know there's a lot of hype on Rockman, but Carlston Harris is absolutely no joke. Both guys are very dangerous. Both guys have 2 finish wins in the UFC. Rockman, a 100% finish rate. It's a close fight. I mean, I really would not be shocked if Carlston Harris pulled off the upset, but I'm very, very high on Rockmanov. I'm going to sit back and watch this one. Like I said, if the fight doesn't go to decision line, gets better than minus 200, I might take a poke there, but other than that, nothing really is sticking out to me. Punahele Soriano going against Nick Maximov. I do have a bet here. I have a half a unit on Punahele Soriano to win in either rounds 1 or rounds 2. That line is available on Bovada, DraftKings, and FanDuel, I believe, and some other books. But yeah, plus 140, half a unit on that. I think, if Soriano wins, I think honestly it's in the first round, but I did want that second round just in case. Soriano KO plus 125. Soriano inside the distance plus 110. I took the to win in rounds 1 or rounds 2 at plus 140 for an even better price there. I'd be shocked if he either A, won a decision, or B, won late in the fight. I think Soriano has about a round and a half of gas, maybe, of gas there. So, yeah, I think, Maximov's going to struggle to get Soriano down early, and I think Soriano knocks him out. Maximov's striking defense doesn't look to be up to par. His striking in general does not look to be up to par, and, Soriano's going to have a massive striking advantage. Soriano has a wrestling background, a judo black background. I think that he can stuff the takedowns here and knock out Maximov. If Maximov is able to survive to that second round, he very well could win. This line, from a money line perspective, I would not place Soriano minus 200, minus 185, but I do think Soriano starches him very early. And then Sean Strickland, Jack Hermanson. It's a weird. I've not seen one. Literally, I have not seen one person pick Jack Hermanson, and this line has not moved at all. Sean Strickland minus 200, minus 205. It's been like that all week. I'm gonna say Sean Strickland wins. I'm gonna say he wins by decision. I think it was FanDuel Sportsbook that has the odds boost for Sean Strickland by decision plus 250. I think I'd look at that. But another main event I'm going to sit back and watch. I did not bet on the last main event, Gon and Ngannou. Thank goodness, because I would have lost money on that. I was not expecting Ngannou to turn into Khabib for a second there. But, I know people like to bet on the main event, but sometimes, it's good to pass. And I'm going to pass here as well. I'm going to pick Sean Strickland to win. I don't like the line. If anything, it would be that decision prop, but I will take Sean Strickland to win. All right. Bets, straight bet on Battle. Half a unit plus 136, 2.5 units on the under 2.5 rounds of Jailton Almeida, Danilo Marquez, minus 175. 2 units on the fight doesn't go to decision for Bondar and Gordon, minus 180. And then also added on a unit to the fight doesn't go to decision for the Bondar-Gordon fight, minus 164. 1 unit on the Marc-Andre Barrios finish only. Same thing as scorecards equals no action, plus 100. 1 unit on that. Soriano to win in rounds 1 or 2. Half a unit plus 140. And then Philip Rowe to win inside the distance, plus 121 unit. Again, be sure to sign up to dfsbythenumbers.com, a couple members away from that 100-member mark. With that, you get access to my stat model, first notice on all bets, the betting article, the betting breakdown videos throughout the week, Hail Mary Parlay, access to the Discord, and then the full card breakdown and best bet article, where I go very deep and give my picks, my bets for each and every fight on the card. That is about it, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, check out my Twitter, DFS_numbers, Instagram, DFS by the numbers. My final picks will be put out there with the method, all the good stuff. So check me out there. So that's about it, guys. Good luck, and let's make some money for UFC Vegas 47.